Hey guys, and welcome back to I Like Old Watches, and welcome to the full review of this Seiko Speed Timer Solar 1969 recreation. This is the SSC817P1, and as you can see, it's not the Panda dial version, so this is going to make this review a little bit rare, because I think most reviewers have picked up the Panda dial variation, but they are as rare as hen's teeth. I've not been able to pick one up. But Ryan from Francis & Gaye has very kindly lent me this watch once again to review for you guys. Thank you, Ryan. I do appreciate it. Honestly, without their support, I wouldn't have access to some of these awesome watches that I do get to review. So thank you. And please, guys, don't forget, if there are any watches on the Francis & Gaye website that you're interested in, the details are in my video description for you to contact them, and they will sort you out. I'm sure they will. No affiliate links. I will be returning the watch, so no includes paid promotion icon. No financial incentives for me whatsoever for you guys to shop at Francis & Gaye. He's just promised me he's going to look after you guys, so that's why I'm encouraging it. Right, in this video you'll get all the facts, figures, stats and specifications, green thumbs up, red thumbs down, some awesome macro shots, and yeah, at the end of this video I'll tell you whether or not I could part with £590 for this watch. Ooh, it is nice though. And here it is now in the lead up to producing this review. I've read online a couple of times people referring to this watch as the Golden Panda, and weirdly that's actually making me want it a little bit more. I'm not entirely sure why. This colour variation has really grown on me. I'm actually starting to like it as much as the Panda dial version, and I suspect if I keep hold of it much longer, I'm going to end up liking it more, and I'm really going to struggle to send it back. But anyway, let's get on with some facts, figures, stats and specifications first of all. I've mentioned the price in the UK. It's £590. That's €710. 790 US dollars. There's 4 color options available, and the movement inside is the Seiko V192. It's a quartz movement. It's powered by solar energy, so those 3 subdials are solar cells. It does hack. Obviously you don't need to hand wind it. There'll be a battery inside that stores up the energy from those solar cells. There's a few functions on this watch. I'm going to run through those in a video on my 3rd channel, I Like Tech Watches too, so look out for that if you're interested in all of the functions and specifications that this particular movement has. Right, let's grab those calipers and give you some measurements. Now the actual case diameter is 39mm, but the bezel is a touch smaller, so let me give you that measurement as well. Just under 38mm in diameter. Thickness, including the crystal domage, is 13.5mm. Case length, lug to lug, is 45.4mm. But you've got fixed center links on those end links, so let's give you that measurement as well. 49.6mm. Lug width is 20mm, and there is some taper on the bracelet down to 17.8mm. And set up for my 7¼ inch-ish wrist, it now weighs 148 grams. Now the materials used to make this watch are stainless steel. That will be case, pushers, case back bracelet and clasp. The bezel is ceramic, which is nice, and the crystal is sapphire, single domed crystal, and there does appear to be I can see a little bit of a blue hue there on the crystal. Now the case is fairly basic in its design, no fancy polished chamfered edges or anything like that. You've got circular brushing on the top surface, polished sides to the case. The silhouette's nice, isn't it? The proportions are good with the bezel and the dial. You've got 2 pushers, obviously one at the 2. One at the 4 o'clock, your crown, pull push crown, and then you've got your screw down case back, which is signed and has a few specifications on it, and you can see under there as well solid end links, which is nice. You've got your chronograph seconds hand running up the center of the main dial there, start stop with the pusher at the 2 o'clock, which is fairly standard, and reset with the pusher at the 4. Now the complication at the 9 o'clock is the running seconds for your time, and then at the 3 o'clock you've got a 24-hour subdial linked to the hands on the main dial, and then at the 6 o'clock you've got your minutes for the chronograph. Applied indexes, beautiful color. You can see The colour of those subdials is not a sort of dark, rich black. It's got that sort of bluey, purpley hue that you tend to get with solar cells. Reasonable lume on this watch as well. The hands are very good. It's Seiko Lumibright. It's blue. Yeah, the lume is good. And it's nice to see a ceramic bezel as well. The end links, there is a little bit of movement there. Look, I'm a little bit disappointed with that fit. That's certainly not the best. And actually, the end links don't look like they've been specifically designed for this case, which is a bit of a shame. And also the transition between those outer links and that center link on those end links is quite sort of soft and sort of, I don't know, wishy-washy. It's not particularly crisp, is it? But it is a nice bracelet, I've got to say. I am loving the shape of those links. A little bit jangly, but that definitely helps with comfort. You've got push pins, beautifully finished, fully brushed on top, high polished sides. Moving down to the clasp, it is milled on the inner elements. The outer shell will be pressed, a couple of micro adjusts, beautifully brushed, signed, double pushers, no safety latch. But yeah, it's a nice clasp. Now, if I've missed any specifications out, I do apologise, but there is a full and comprehensive list of all the specifications in my video description. So yeah, head down there and have a look. Right, let's move on and look at the green thumbs up and the red thumbs down. So what I consider to be the watch's strengths and weaknesses. The brand is the first strength I'm going to mention. It's one of the most recognised watch brands in the world. The dial, I do like the look of this dial, not just the proportions and the design, but actually this colour variation now, it has really grown on me. It's very, very comfortable. Seiko just seem to have this incredible knack for making their watches, you know, very wearable. The bracelet and the clasp, I was actually very pleasantly surprised with the design, but also the build quality. Yes, you've still got push pins, that's to be expected from Seiko at this price point, but it is beautifully finished. I do like the shape of those links. Sapphire and ceramic, nice to see quality materials used in a Seiko watch costing less than £1,000. So yeah, that was a pleasant surprise. Of course, the advantage of having a quartz solar watch is that you don't need to change the battery generally unless there's a problem, and yeah, it will constantly be keeping the correct time. The battery power will last for months and months if you throw it in a drawer and sort of forget about it for a little while. So yeah, great pick up and go option, isn't it? And I'm pleased to report that on this particular watch, the alignment appears to be absolutely perfect. So the watch has lots of strengths, but there are a few weaknesses, sadly. They're fairly minor, but obviously I need to point them out. The first one, and this is really minor, but the date wheel just seems to sit quite deep inside the watch. I was surprised actually at the size of the gap between the date wheel and the surface of the dial. The end link fit, not the best I've seen, and also the crispness of those end links is not fantastic, and I've mentioned it already, the design of the end links, it just doesn't seem to match the case, does it? They're just sort of very rounded, and there's a bit of a corner there on the case, but not on the end links. So yeah, they've not matched those up particularly well. The colour of those subdials, they've not hidden those solar cells particularly well. And yeah, quite often you will see that sort of purpley blue hue. And the last one is just 2 micro adjusts. Of course, the advantage of having the smaller outer shell is that it's more discreet. You see more of the bracelet. But yeah, I do tend to like 3 micro adjusts. I don't think 2's quite enough. So would I recommend it? What about the price? Am I going to part with £590 to keep hold of it though? That's what I'm struggling with. I'm not convinced that I will. I mean, you know, not many people pay full price for Seikos these days. Having said that, the white dial version is selling like hotcakes, so that's not discounted anywhere, and it appears to be sold out repeatedly whenever it comes in. It's selling out, so people are, you know, spending £590 on this watch. There's obviously not quite enough buzz around this particular colour variation because this one is readily available in most places. But yeah, I am actually starting to prefer it, weirdly. But not enough to part with £590 at this point in time to keep hold of it, I don't think. So it's more than likely I will be returning it. But yeah, let me know, guys, in the comments section. What do you think of the value for money with this watch at the retail price, £590? But also, this particular colour variation, is it doing enough to warrant people's interest over the black and white Panda dial version? Is it growing on you like it's grown on me? It's definitely gone up in my estimation since I've had hold of it. Yeah, I really didn't like it actually when I first got it, but now I am yeah, really liking it. So I can see myself parting with the money to keep hold of it, to be honest. Oh man, I don't think so. Maybe. Who knows? Anyway, guys, let me know in the comment section what you think. Thank you as always for tuning in. I do really appreciate it. Take care, guys. Look after yourselves. You'll see me again very, very soon.